let me just move the camera around a little bit. Should we put me there or at the top? No, I'm staying at the top. Bosh. There we go. Howdy, folks. Hope you're all well. Taco Tuesday, as always. Comms by Coops here, and we have got an absolute blinder for everybody this evening. Obviously, I'm just going to do a quick sound check. So 1 second. Listen to Mike for a minute. What's Mike saying? Nope. Nothing. All right. Okay, that all seems pretty okay by me, so we'll just turn that one off. Right, and we can crack on with it. Now, if you keep wondering why I keep popping my head up and down, obviously I've been playing about with the room again recently, and it's I just can't get it right. Can't get it right, but we will get there. As I say, Taco Tuesdays. Milden is in already. Hey, Coops. Nah, he's not going to. He's not going to, Ben. And you know why? Because I had a little chat with him. I had a chat with our Michael, and I said, listen, dude, you can't go winning it this evening because then no one's going to turn up next week. So that's might be what happens. It might not be what happens. I have no idea. I mean, I know Michael Races really hasn't been particularly well this week, and he was considering doing this evening on the controller. So I challenged him to a duel, evidently, apart from I am slow, but he's not in here, so it doesn't count. I am, like, ridiculously fast on this thing. Not that thing in the background. I don't sit in that anymore. And, but he's got in the rig, so I don't know, Ben. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see. So 5 watching at the moment, even everybody. So, as I say, this is the Formula Racing League Taco Tuesday. It's Season 5. This is Round 9 at Imola. And just to shake things up a little bit more, not only, as you can see on your screens right now, it's a little bit dark out there. So, yes, correct. It is a night race, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully everyone will still be able to spot those braking and turning points. But also, because, for, I don't know, is it the nice weather? Potentially. The numbers haven't been particularly high, so what we've actually done is we've amalgamated both tiers this evening, which we'll look at the stats in a minute. There are some quick people. Obviously we know tier 1 is ridiculously fast. Tier 2 is also extremely quick, and Superkart Ray, as you can see, is already representing those guys, currently 5th quickest here in free practice, so I'm sure he'll have his fan club with him. Well, and Superkart Ray's back in the chat. I haven't even been here 5 seconds and he's in. Yes, back in the game. Wow. Well, Mr. Ray, back in the game indeed. But I think it's more to do with the fact that you wanted an easy ride in Tier 2. I'll leave that out there for the general public to decide, but no, when I run through the stats, you will see, not only do we have, obviously Michael could tie up the Tier 1 championship this evening if he follows through, obviously not because he's been feeling particularly poorly, but, you know, if he follows through with his usual consistent pace, he could walk away with that championship. I know very good result tonight because Marty's not in, his teammate, and he's looking to consolidate that team's title, so we'll see what happens. But then in the Tier 2 class, the top 4 in Tier 2 are all at it. They are all at it, and we'll look at that in a bit. So what shall we do this evening? I think we all know what we're going to do. We will have a look at who's checked in, who's not racing tonight, and whatever poor excuses they came up with, nice weather barbecues, I can't really blame them. And we'll have a look at the stand-ins. We will of course do a full lap guide when we get into qualifying. I don't know, on the PC I normally go with one of the pro guys instead of the AMs, but we're not pro and AM class, so I'm randomly going to pick someone this evening and do that lap guide, so be on your toes, ladies and gents. Jamie's in. Yes, it is, Jamie. It is going to be epic, mate. Sorry you can't make it. I hope you're alright. Our Palermoged decided to... Well, I think he tried to hack his hand off or something. I think he got frustrated and didn't realise there was a kill switch. So, yeah. Mr. Kite, Rob Kite's in, saying bringing all the guys back together. Listen, I'm really grateful for all these amazing comments already, but you know one thing you all must do. You have to do this. So there's 8 of you watching at the moment. I've got 4 likes. Press the like button, guys. It takes half a second. Right, so let's run through some of the stats. We've got a different qualifying session this evening, which I think works very well. Evidently, we have Tier 1 and 2. So instead of the normal 15-minute qualifying session, we're going to have a 20-minute qualifying session. First 10 minutes, the Tier 1 guys are going to go out and set their laps, and then the second 10 minutes, the Tier 2 chaps will pop out and see if they can ruffle some feathers. Let's put it that way. So let me just bring up the stats. 1 second. That's right, Ben. Exactly. I will find you. I won't finish that phrase from Taken because YouTube might not like it. Right, Kino's in as well. Good evening, Kino. You know what? I'm going to do this off my phone, I think, because I'm just going to keep moving my head around. But before we do that, obviously, I just need to give a big shout out to Daz Parker again for the merch that he provides to us all here at Formula Racing League. As you can see, haven't sorted my chair out yet, but get out of there, Mike. Beautiful t-shirt. Coffee delivery device. I do actually have a new hoodie, a very, very nice hoodie that he sent me as well, and a blow-up doll. Don't know what that's all about, to be honest. Ooh, so Jamie says there's a bit of a story behind the I know what it was, Jamie. You were auditioning for Saw 8, weren't you? That's what it is, and you had to, the whole handcuffed with the hacksaw, if you haven't seen the first one, although that was an ankle, but anyway. Right, so if we have a little look, come over here, Mike, a little bit, thank you. If we have a little look at the stats, so in terms of Tier 1, I'm gonna stay in my car just while I run through the stats, because otherwise you're all going to get distracted by all the amazing noise and stuff like that. But you can see at the moment, in terms of who's setting the quick times, Rob 2K, consistent as always. Ollie Racing, we know he's absolutely rapid, and Michael Races, who's poorly, that's his excuse, is currently third in those standings. Dokuno, AMS, Superkart Ray, Milden, Andy Cray, Bruges, Keaton. I mean, come on. It's like looking at the grid at Formula 1, isn't it, really? You know all the names. We all know all the names. It's fantastic. So Michael Races is leading that championship at the moment on 306 points. Milden is second, 40 points behind on 266. So this is a really important race this evening. What's going on there? There you go. Really important race this evening for the individual championship there. Dokuno's third, ultra consistent. Well done to him on 228 points. He's 78 of drift. I'd like to say maybe, but Dokuno, no disrespect, I can't see that happening unless the two in front of you both have 2 DNFs, which, I mean, you'd never know, it could happen. Marty Road Racing is in 4th place, 227. Then we've got AMS, who's 5th in a Bentley on 194. Rob 2K, who's topping the timesheets at the moment, he's currently in 6th on 184. And then we've got Drifter on 183. Ben Gallagher is 8th, 168. And then Sean Cool, who, he's been fantastic since he's sort of stepping up to the mark a little bit more, getting involved more. Rapid guy. He's 9th on 144. Kagatacos is 10th on 123. And then we've got Andy Craze 11th, just outside the top 10. Only 3 points in it between those two. Jetpackers 12th on 117. Would definitely be higher up the pack, but connection issues seem to plague that chap, unfortunately. Goofy's 13th, Hutch is 14th on 105, GT Jamie's 15th on 100 points. If you didn't watch the stream last week, you'll all be aware everyone got bombed out after about 42 minutes of the race, PS4, PS5 and PC. And then GT Jamie, because obviously I like to watch everyone stream and listen to what they're saying and, who they like, who they hate, all those things. And GT Jamie at the end was a bit bored, I think, and he was like, I'm going to go and get on stream. That's a really bad impression of Jamie there. And he did. He came and sat in front of my beautiful car and started doing donuts. And then we had a little race down the pit lane. And then Michael Races decided he was going to fly in at 400 mile an hour and do a handbrake turn-ish in front of me. So there you go. Palermo's is 16th on 82 points. There we go. And then Pony Feeder 17th on 80. Bruges is 18th on 77. Kino is down in 19th at the moment on 63, but making a comeback. He's had a few weeks out. I know he's been extremely busy with work. And then we've got Dawes is 20th on 61, Steph and Marpat bringing up the rear. So that is your driver standings for Tier 1. Right, team standings. This is what Ben's all about at the moment. So SBR Racing are leading that on 493. They've got a 71-point gap back to Full Throttle Racing. And then we're on YouTube, we're on 306. They're 187 behind. They're not catching up. So the battle between the teams is between SBR and Full Throttle Racing. So we have to keep an eye on that this evening. Not Fast Just Furious, we're in 4th place. And then we've got Blue Streak Racing, Kagala Motorsport are 6th. Fueled Up Motorsports are in 7th. JJ Motorsport are 8th on 220, KG Racing are 9th on 143, and the Flying Spuds are 10th on 124. And do you know what, guys? I mean, this is amazing that we're bringing both tiers in together, but you're giving me quite a bit more. I should be chilling now. I've gone through all the stats. I've got to do a whole other lot. So while we're doing that, no, I'm not going to deviate. Quick look in the live chat. GT Jamie, like that impression. I'll get a proper one done when the coffee sets in, Jamie. I promise you, mate. Gedman, at the moment, my friend, I've got 24 in if you take me out. So that's pretty good. I'm impressed with that. I'll talk about that in a minute on how that came about. And Cool is interested in that blow doll. Good. Fantastic. Right. Okay, let's have a look at Tier 2, because these guys are in here tonight. So Elysium is leading that championship, currently on 280 points. Ollie RSR is second. He's only 16 points behind, and he's Bentley on 264. Then we've got the effervescent Superkart Ray in his Ferrari on 250, so he's only 30 points behind. And the Maro, 83, who is Elysium's best buddy, he's in 4th place. He's only 50 points off. So there's definitely opportunities within Tier 2. Iceman Sean UK is 5th, Yavolton is 6th on 205 points, Kimmy's dad 7th, Fearless is 8th, Ash is 9th, King of the Hills is 10th, Drewbug 11th, Faco is 12th, Cascanova is 13th. I'll tell you a story about him in a moment. And then we've got Wompman Ferrari, Jumbo Hargreaves, who's in tonight, he's down 16th. Then we've got Rin, who's 17th, Arnoir is in 18th, Hellraiser's 19th, Biggie's 20th, Tooney is 21st, and then we've got Tarek down at the bottom there. So, quick story about Cascanova. Obviously, he's come across to PC as well, which is great to see. Let's get out with Rob at the moment, see if we can see anything at night time. So he's come out at the moment over to PC, and he was like, "Oh, Coops, you could talk about me now," because obviously, you know, he's in Tier 2. Nothing wrong with Tier 2, it's just there isn't two of me to do Tier 1 and Tier 2. So he was all like, "Oh, brilliant." Anyway, so we did the race on Friday, we're doing the comms, and I'm talking about everyone, and I'm thinking, where is he? I mean, I know I have this joke about Cass and you know, what country is he from, and every week I change it. You know, he hails from a different country, but genuinely I was like, where is he? And then it dawned on me that I didn't actually know his real name, because on PC, generally speaking, it has the actual real names, rather obviously than what we do on the console side. And so he's doing this race, and afterwards he's like, "Coos, you didn't mention me once." And I was like, I had no idea which one you were, but now I know. So it's all good. Show us your setup. Well, which setup would you like to see, Sandro? Which one? So we're on board Rd9 at the moment. We are in free practice, so it's a night race. We do have an opti track, which is fantastic. In terms of temps, we've got 15 ambient and I believe 15 on track as well. So nice and cool. Definitely lends to quicker lap times, obviously making sure you've got those tyres and brakes in the right operating window. But the coolness of that air is evidently going to allow the engines to breathe and develop a few more horses, and certainly put them down, well, in a better fashion than if it was absolutely roasting. So we are seeing some quick times at the moment. And again, for those that missed the start of the show, please press like. You can, I haven't said it yet, but I mean, it is behind me. No, other side, Coops. It is up there, look. buymeacoffee.com/comms by Coops. Small one-off donations page, £2, £3, buy me a coffee, I don't know, whatever. 5 minutes, it is the Euros tonight. So if anybody wins the Euros, donate. Yeah, poor Cask. I know, he was absolutely gutted, Jamie. Seriously gutted. But yeah, so how did we manage to organise to get all of these hardcore racers into one tier tonight? That is the power of your Volton, or Mr. Gedman as we know him. Works absolutely tirelessly. Rob can't be bothered to drive anymore, so we'll jump on board with Ollie in his BMAT. Let's get off the BMAT. Come on, Supercar Ray. You know what's going to happen in a minute. When we used to do, guys, I know we're getting into the wait time, but now it's just getting a bit annoying now. So who have we got in tonight? Rob 2K is Tier 1, Ollie Racing is Tier 1, Michael Racing is Tier 1, Dokuno Tier 1, Supercar Ray Tier 2. A cat amongst the pigeons. AMS is Tier 1, Ollie RSR is Tier 2, Milden is Tier 1. Don't expect Ben to qualify any higher than probably 12th. He doesn't, I don't think he knows how to qualify. And now it's daytime. Of course it is. So it's not a night race. Fantastic. So we're into qualifying. So the first 10 minutes, remember, is going to be Tier 1. The second 10 minutes will be Tier 2. And we will do a full lap guide. You mean the tyre setup? Well, the thing is, Sandro, if I give away that information, then everyone's going to just be listening to this, evidently, and they're all going to change the tyre setup. So we can't give out that information. No, I do know. All right, who's got out first? Right, we got a Beamer out there first. Jambo should not be out. Jambo should not be out. Jambo is Tier 2. I think someone needs to let Jambo know he shouldn't be out. Right, we'll be on board with Dokuno. So we were just running through that. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's get on board and look at some qualifying as we're on board with Dokuno. So where do we get to? Well, Jambo's Tier 2, Kino's Tier 1, Laura's Tier 2, Cooley's Tier 1. I am Tier X. And again, sorry, I need to apologise before we get going. Obviously, on the PS5, we are completely bugged. This is our camera angle, and has been for a number of months, and will be for a long more time. Yeah, so, but we're all used to it by now. Elysium, Tier 2, Supercar Ray Tier 2, Shamzo, I believe, Tier 2, Bruges Tier 1, AMS Tier 1, we've said Ollie RSR is Tier 2, Ollie Racing, just to mix it up a little bit, we've got two Ollies in, he's Tier 1, BRG, that's Marpat, that's Tier 2, Oisman Sean UK, Tier 2, really good to see Sean actually. I actually hooked him into FRL on Facebook quite a while ago, and he's developed really well, kind of gone under the wing a little bit with Gedman. Those two have worked really hard together, and he's now really enjoying himself, which is great to see. GT Jamie Tier 1, he's a coach. Lamaro's in Tier 2, Kaga is Tier 1, Andy Tier 1, Shez Monkey's Tier 1 as a reserve. Then we've got Shigs Tier 1 and Faco Tier 2. Anyway, Dokuno starts his first flying lap, so it would be rude not to, wouldn't it, in the run down then towards Tamburello. So we're looking for that orange border on the right hand side. We're going to drop down to second gear in the Ferrari, hook it in, then we need to go right. Don't take too much curve in the Ferrari, she will spit you out. Full power through there, drifter wide as we go up towards the run towards Villeneuve, which is a left-right set of corners. We're going to get on the brakes lightly, down 2 gears there, never stab with the brakes, come off, we need to tuck her in, we could take more curve on the inside there. Then we have the run down to the left hairpin of Toza, just past that asphalt on the right hand side is where we're going to get on the brakes, trail in. You've got to be patient. If you get on the throttle too early there, she will, in any of these cars, she will try and get a bit waywards from you. On the way up to Piratella, which is a difficult left-hander, on the 50 board, we're going to get on the brakes, down a gear, clip that curve. You've got to coast there, so he's going to look, that's borderline for invalid. And then down towards Aqua Minerale, the double right-hander, down with the brakes, down the gear, then we're going to hold off, we're going to trail a bit more, we're going to get on the throttle nice and early. So there's a lot going on in this lap. We'll do another one and we'll slow it down and look at it in a different way. The Variante Alto, this is a right left-hand chicane. Well, in the Ferrari, to me, I drive the Ferrari, as you all know, I'm sat in my Ferrari in the pits and everyone knows the 101 Ferrari is the one to beat. She's so difficult through there. You can lose half a second down to Ravats of 1, so we've got a double left-hander here. Train into the first one, squeeze the throttle off, we're going to wait, tuck her in, get that clipping point, squeeze on again, use all the runoff on the right, and then we've got the squirt down to the start-finish line. But as I'm saying, the Variante Alta, that chicane, you can lose or gain anywhere between half a second and 7/10 there, depending on how brave you are, depending on what the setup of your car is, and how much pace you're taking through. Yeah, I mean, Oh, and someone goes for a little wander there. So Milden, he's obviously listened to me in the chat saying he don't expect him to qualify anywhere above 12th, and currently he's well, he's got the quickest lap, hasn't he? With a 42.822. So Dokuno evidently did invalidate that last lap, hence he's on another one. So we'll stick on board with it. Shez Monkey puts a time in there. He's 7.5 tenths down, and that's a bit better. AMS is 3 tenths back in his Bentley. So again, you got to think about cars. You got to think about where cars are strong and what the track. Oh, Dokuno, that's the second time he's invalidated there, so that's not going to help him. Let's get on board with Mr. Races. Let's see how he's doing. He's approaching the same corner, and he's taking a little bit too much curb. I think he's got away with that one though, because he didn't go too far out. Down to Aqua Minerale, so we're going to tucker it down a gear. Down on the brakes, down, he's gone down a couple, he's going to trail that off, squeeze the throttle on, run up the hill towards the Variante outer. Let's see how he takes this chicane. No, there's no brake, Ray, there's no brake. So basically, mate, when you get to about 9.5 minutes, yeah, into this session, get out of your pit box, but don't cross that line until the 10-minute session, till the 10-minute timer goes. So into Avanza 1, trail nicely in there, get you apex. That is not like Mr. Races at all. Not like him at all. And Ollie Racing's doing what he does best with a 141.889. That is a nice lap by him. There's only nearly 8 tenths quicker. So let's stay on board with Michael then. That lap was either invalid, I would suggest so, or it was a warm-up lap. So down into second, get it tucked in as we go through Tamburella, take the curbs nice and wide there, in the run down towards Villeneuve now. Let's see how he takes this one. So down with the brakes, squeeze. You could hear him modulating that throttle there as he was coming out into Toza. Trail into first, pick up that clipping point and then squeeze the throttle on. That was nice. Right, let's see if we can get this one right. It would appear I'm cursing everybody at the moment. So brakes, down the gear, coast. Ah, interesting. So Michael's technique there is a little bit different. That's why he's much faster than me. Well, he's not though, is he? Because there's no proof of that. There's absolutely no proof that Michael's faster than me, because I do my racing in private. Yep. Anyway, Variante outer, so on those brakes, down into first turn, and then we're off now. We're going to now squeeze the throttle. Again, it's all about balancing the car. We all understand the way that the weight shifts on the cars when we're braking and accelerating. We have to modulate, have to do our little ballet dance to get that correct. Let's see if we get this one right. That looks nice. That was tidy through there. Good angle in there. Then off. Now squeeze. Okay, this looks like a half decent lap from Michael. Let's see if he could challenge where he normally is, or whether he's going to take it easy this evening because the poor lad isn't well. So we'll see. Wow, that was another invalid lap then apparently. Interesting, right. So Ollie's massively set the pace up there. Milden's currently second, which is that's really impressive from him in that Bentley. But again, you've got to think Beamer eats curbs, Bentley eats curbs, Bentley eats curbs, Beamer eats curbs, Beamer eats curbs. So Shez Monkey and Rob 2K, no surprise to see those two up there. Kino is representing the Ferrari guys nicely there. Ams has moved up to second place, so he's improved by about 4 tenths on his lap. That drops Milden down to third, so Kino's in sixth. Andy in his Lexus, again, bit of a curb eater. He's in seventh. GT Jamie in his Ferrari, 1.8 off the pace in eighth. Then we've got Sean Cooley in the Porsche. I mean, Sean's really taken that Porsche on, and he's doing really well. Marpat isn't, is he? Why is Marpat qualified? Okay, well, Marpat's 5th anyway, and then we've got, so Sean's 10th, Kagatako's is 11th at the moment in his Ferrari, and then we've got Bruges 12th, Jambo Hargreaves is obviously out there setting times, shouldn't be, or Shamsho. So, yeah, those two shouldn't be out there, but anyway, they might not know that. Dokuno still hasn't set a time in 15th, neither is Michael either in 16th at the moment, so those two, they need to get a banker in. I mean, they'll be very conscious the time is ticking, so they're going to probably be thinking, oh, I need to set my quick lap, but guys, you need to set a lap. You need to get one on the board, otherwise you're going to end up down at the bottom of the grid, chaps. I have to say, this is for Mr. Gedman, actually. Chris, one of the chaps in the Patreon earlier on, and by the way, if you're interested in Patreon, you can talk to any of us in Discord. I'll give you my own personal bank details, or you can have a look on the website, formulaRacingLeague.co.uk. Everything's on there, all the different series, all the different nights that we race, PC, PS4, PS5, the merch shop, Patreon, hot laps, lap records, a million different things. Yeah, so have a look at that, it's interesting. Sean stays 11th. Interesting. Sean is in 11th at the moment. So again, this is for Gedman. Ollie, Ams and Milden, they've decided to pit. Whether they're going to make a small adjustment before coming out for another flyer, or whether they're quite happy with that, awaits to be seen. But I'm actually really beginning to fall in love with the Porsche. I mean, I can't drive her really that well on the controller, but there's something about her. I think it is the challenge. My wife's like a Porsche. Yeah, a challenge. She can't hear me, and that's okay. If something hits me on the head, then we know what's going on, don't we? So everyone's coming into the pits now, and it would appear that the AM guys are on their way out. So Dokuno, are you setting a lap? Let me just see what happens on this one. And Michael's just coming out as well. So Dokuno, are you going to set a lap, my friend? Because that's your last chance. He does set a lap. And Michael, are you going to set a lap? He does, right. So let's see where that's put them. So Dokuno goes second, Michael goes third. Well, there you go. So tier 1, Ollie, Dokuno, Michael, Bruges, Ams, Milden, well done, Rob 2K, Marpat, and then we've got Jamie, Shesmonkey, Kino, Andy Craig, Cool, Kaga, Shamso, and Jumbo Hargreaves set their times. Obviously they shouldn't have done. So let's get into the tier 2 boys. So who have we got in here? So we've got Mr. Law. We won't go on you first. It looks like Elysium in the number 8 Ferrari. Now Elysium, that's very, very naughty. That's very naughty, because I love number 8, and when I first joined FRL, Will Friedman had number 8 and he told me I wasn't allowed it. I mean, like, you know, none of this welcome to FRL. It was like, bosh, I've got number I'd like number 8. It's French. There's another bad attempt at an accent. Yeah, and so Will, he wouldn't let me have number 8, but Elysium's taken it now, which is it's quite disheartening, really. Anyway, as he comes into Rivatsa, so we've got some decent times for them to aim at. Ollie on a pole with a 41.475. I mean, that's a pretty hot lap. Yeah, Elysium's trying to get some more temperature into those tyres before he starts his quick one. And where's Superkart Ray? So Superkart Ray's the next one out the bag by the look of it. So again, remember the top of the charts for the tier 2 guys. You've got Elysium, Superkart Ray, Lamaro, and Ollie. They're all in there together, and well, they're here this evening. So maybe they're going to steal the show. Who knows? Mildred says, okay, hard way it is. Well, I don't know, mate. 6th is good. I mean, I don't know whether it's going to stay 6th, because there are a couple of pretty quick chaps in tier 2 that evidently want to make a name for themselves tonight. So we'll have to see how that works out, as Elysium evidently made an error there, which is unfortunate. Mr. Superkart Ray is keeping an eye on him. Where's Ollie? So Ollie's down by the very anti-alta. Right, let's stick on with Elysium then in the run down towards Aqua Minerale. Double right-hander on the brakes, down a gear, down another gear. We're keeping on the brakes there. Then we're modulating off, squeezing the power on gently. We don't want to get too crazy, because you've got all the you've got the nuance in terms of you know, the track, the grip levels. You know, you're going down and turning and then going back up again. So the whole weight distribution on the car is a big factor there. You've got to be really careful with your inputs. Yeah, Shawnee's saying he's struggling tonight in that Porsche. Don't worry, mate. I was doing what did I do earlier? I did a 47.3 on the controller in my Porsche with full race fuel. Have some of that. Actually, we'll see if that's any good for lap time on here. It'd be terrible if it was, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Right, so Lamaro, I know we're on board with Elysium, so that lap, where's he going to cross the line? So that one from Elysium obviously did count. Where's that put him? So Elysium, he sets his time. No, he doesn't. But Lamaro, he has set a time. Supercart Ray has also set a time. He's up into 14th place. Lamaro is 16th at the moment. So Elysium needs to pull the proverbial finger out of the proverbial place. And Andy Cray still going around the track, as is Ams. What are you two doing, boys? Get back in. Someone should tell them. So Iceman Sean UK, he's completed a lap, and look at that. Law's put in a decent time there in the 226 AMG as he's starting another lap. Who's he behind? 441. So he's just behind Facco. So those two are now both, well, probably ruining each other's qualifying lap really, because they're putting each other off. But there you go. So what's that top time? 41.5, and then what we've got down there, 3.7. So 41.5, 3, 44, 40. That's a 46.3. I could have qualified, and I wouldn't have been too far off, maybe. Right. So Law set a lap time. Lamaro set a time. Iceman Sean has also set a time. Supercart Ray has done that. Ollie RSR, well there you go. I did say some people want to push themselves up the grid a bit, so Ollie RSR from tier 2 has put himself 12th overall at the moment in the 88 Bentley, 1.449 off the pace. That's a good effort from him, puts him above Cool and Kino. And then we've got Lamaro, Supercart Ray. We're on board with Law at the moment. Iceman Sean is down in 20th. Shamzo's 21st, 3.7 off the pace. And we've got Jambo Hargreaves in the number 7 Bentley's 22nd. Facco's 23rd. Shigs is in the pits at the moment. Hasn't set a lap time. So this is developing quite nicely. Still got an optimal track. 10 watching at the moment. Good evening to you all. You join us in the second part of qualifying. So because we've put both tiers together this evening, yeah, RIP Porsche. I think so, mate. Nah. I think you just got to get in the groove and miss those curves, man. You have to dodge those curves in that Porsche. I'm not teaching you how to drive, Sean. You're probably far quicker than me. So probably. As I said, no one knows, does it, really? Anyway, I'll probably get done for, well, lying, actually, on YouTube. That's not very good, is it? So... But Sean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of incidents happen this evening. I'm sure there will be. Yep, you've got quick guys who are going to be trying to come through the field. You've got tier 2 guys who, you know, they're all fighting for their championship still, remember. It's not like they're gate crashing this race, all as reserves. They're fighting in their own championship. So there's an awful lot at stake all throughout the field here, which, for us watching, is fantastic. For you guys... eggshells may be needed on occasion, no doubt. Right, so let's just see. So Elysium, Mr. Elysium is currently 8th. Has he got to improve on that? That is impressive. I've just noticed something, Mr. Elysium. Now, my brain is a gift. Yeah, my memory, I'm like Mike Ross, yeah, from Suits. Generally, I don't forget much. And I'm sure when you first joined us, it wasn't Elysium 101. Or was it? You need to let me know about that one. Or Limaro, if you're watching, was it always Elysium 101, or does he just like my number 101? Let's find out. Anyway, he's doing fantastically well at the moment in tier 2. He's right in the mix with the tier 1 boys. Limaro's not too far off the pace either in his 83. At least he's got the right number next to his name. Ferrari. In fact, there's only a tenth and a bit between them, so that's always nice to see between teammates. GT Jamie, Ollie RSR's 14th. Supercart Ray at the moment is down in 17th. Iceman Sean not too far behind him, and then we've got Law Facco, Jambo, Shamsho. I mean, there's a lot of O's going on, isn't there, really? Right, so Elysium has now dropped down to 9th. Why has he done that? Is that because Andy was still going around, or AMS? I don't know. We need to have a look at that. But Elysium 9th, Lamaro in 11th at the moment, which is impressive as we come through Rivazza 2. Wow, Jamie. No. No. And if any of you are wondering why I'm doing that with that particular reaction is our GT Jamie. Hello, Mr. Firth. Good evening to you, sir. Hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. We've got Tier 1 and 2 all smashed up together tonight. Michael Races did leave a little comment, actually, earlier on in the Tier 1 chat, and was just like, you know, anyone finishing in the pit lane tonight? Which I think, Mr. Firth, you'll remember that very well, because after that Race 1 finish, you left the server, and I think you were a bit cross that day. But all is good, right? So, good to see you. But anyway, Jamie reckons, Palermo, reckons that is Elysium Mr. X the real Coops? No. There's only one person who looks like this, unfortunately. But anyway, guys, I mean, it's been a while since we've all been together. Do you like my new artwork? Do you like the whole... Let me know, it'd be cool. Right, so we go into the wait times. Qualifying is essentially finished. AMS is still going round, so AMS has had 20 minutes worth of qualifying here, and he didn't finish the 10-minute session of Tier 1 in second place. So something is probably going to be said about that, and I wouldn't disagree with it, and something probably needs to happen with that. So the grid, as it stands, Ollie Racing is on pole position. Congratulations, Ollie, with a 141.475. AMS is second, a tenth and a bit behind, although AMS had 20 minutes of qualifying and should have had 10. Dokuno is currently in third place in his 112 Ferrari, 6 and a bit tenths behind. Michael Races is fourth in the number 1 McLaren, trying to defend that title. He's 6 and a bit tenths. Yeah, he's about sort of 5 hundredths behind Dokuno there. Bruges is in 5th in the number 18 BMW, 8 tenths down. Milden's qualified in 6th. I may be saying do it the hard way, but mate, you're 6th. That's at least 6 places better than the normal for qualifying, but a second off the pace. That is a big gap. Andy Cray's in 7th in his Lexus, 1.1 off the pace. And we've got Rob 2K in 8th in his 75 Beamer, 1.1 off the pace. Elysium, first of the Tier 2 guys, is in 9th place at the moment, 1.2 off the pace. Shez Monkey, who's standing in the reserve for Tier 1, he's in 10th. Ollie RSR, again, Tier 2. He's in 11th place, 1.347 off the pace. Then we've got Lamaro and then Marpat. So remember, in Tier 2, Elysium, Ollie, Lamaro, they are all right in that scrap, yeah, to win that. So that's looking pretty good. Marpat's 13th, 1.4 off the pace. GT Jamie's in 14th in the 141 Ferrari, 1.431 off the pace. Sean in the Porsche, who's going to have a tough evening, he feels. Looks that way, he's in 15th, 1.5 almost off the pace. Kino in his Ferrari is 16th, 1.506 off the pace. Then we've got Supercart Ray. Obviously, his fan club aren't in supporting him tonight, so it's like Mansell, isn't he? You know, he needs that support from the crowd. So he's 17th. Iceman Sean UK is 18th, 2.160 down. Kagatacos in his Ferrari is 19th. Faco, what a great name. I've missed commentating on Faco because I can get away with saying what I like. He's 20th, 2.5 off the pace. Law 226 is 21st. Jambo is 22nd, 3.249. And then we've got Shamso is 23rd. I'm 24th. Obviously didn't set a time. Kaiser Money is 25th, no time set, and Shigs 26th, no time set. Now Kaiser Money, a big welcome to Kaiser Money. Popped in earlier on today, literally just joined us. Actually said, yeah, you know, I'm really new to sim racing. I've just gone and bought a DD, and I've done, you know, I mean, no messing about, you know, not like mere mortals like me. You've got a placey and a G29 in the background. We're talking, you know, no feeding the kids, straight in with some real kit. And yeah, I wish you well. But bear in mind, this is the penultimate round of 2 separate championships here. So my advice is tread carefully. Yeah, we don't want to be getting involved in championships at this late stage of the season. So enjoy yourself, but keep that in mind. That's all I'm going to say. So we've got 2 minutes 45 to go until they dump me in the pits and the formation lap gets underway. Let me just have a quick check on the live chat 1 second. Oh, Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes, so the artwork is good. Good. I like it. Thank you. Oh dear. I'll be Superkart Race fanboy, my teammate for this Friday. Well, yeah, but you don't need a teammate, do you? Let's face it, for the endurance. I mean, that's wrapped up and done. Don't need it. I mean, well done with that, mate. I keep an eye on all the championships, and that was seriously impressive. And Superkart Race has bowled it. Well, I didn't say that, did I? So, Gedman, we need a bottle, you know, a Joseph Troe bottle. I need that after Ray's name, please, in the Discord afterwards. So, for those that are new, yeah, of course you'll be his teammate. Yeah, of course you will, Kino. That's right. Of course you will. Ooh, pick me. Right, 1 minute 20. So, we've got a 60-minute race coming up. For those that are new, again, welcome. This is Formula Racing League. It's Taco Tuesdays. I mean, this is it. This is the big one. We've had a 10 race series this time out. This is round 9 at Imola. Night race, as you can see. There will be one mandatory stop. Again, how do we know that? Pretty simple. Everyone's got a gold 1 next to their number at the moment. When they come in and do their pit stop, there is a pit window which runs for the entire race to stop Michael Races pitting on the very end of the race. Ask Michael Firth. And yeah, when they've done their pit stop, that will go green, which will indicate pit stop complete. They can race to the end. Okay, so nice and simple. You saying? Aha, so Shez Monkey, yes. It's a good point to make. Yeah, he's saying that he's right between the two leaders of Tier 2, so Elysium and Ollie, so he's going to be a little bit cautious. That's a really nice thing to do, Shez, to be fair, mate. Just smash them off there. I mean, you need to win. Come on! It's about winning. No, it's not. No, it's not all about winning, obviously, but it is. Anyway, cheers, everyone. It's great to have both the tiers together. It's fantastic. And if anyone hears any shouting whilst we're in the race, if anyone hears someone like, "Oh no," that'll be Chris Gedman shouting from somewhere that he's gone off. Although I don't think he's probably in tonight, is he? No, he's just set it up and legged it. Better things to do on PC, I believe. Right, I can't press drive. Keep forgetting that. Right, so there we go, guys. Oh, let's see. Can we see? Well, Dokuno's going to start from the pits. He didn't press drive in time. Dokuno. So, you know, some lights have worked better than others, evidently. And if you haven't had the pleasure, seriously, get involved with GT4 racing at night. There is no point in them having lights. You guys will agree to this because we've done it on stream a few times. They are shocking, the GT4s. And it was only the fact that it was a mixed, I think it was a mixed Monday race, that we had GT3s that were actually lighting up the track for the GT4 guys. It was hilarious. So as you see, Dokuno's falling down the order then. Evidently didn't press drive. Somebody distracted him. Obviously I'm in the pits as well, so we've got a nice, well, we haven't got a full grid, but we've only got a couple of spots available, which is great to see. So who should we go on board with to start? Right, I don't want to put the curse on anyone, so Shez Monkey, there we go, right in the middle of the Tier 2 leaders. That's what I'm talking about. It's your time. It's your time. Yeah, no, you won't mind. Of course you won't. So I'm really looking forward to this race. We've got a lot that can go on this evening. We've got the individual drivers' championship in Tier 1. Can be sewn up tonight if Michael wins by quite a few points over Ben. We've got the team championship in Tier 1 that can be decided this evening as well. We've got, well, I don't think the individual championship within Tier 2 can be decided, but I'm quite confident the team championship with Elysium and Limaro being so high up there, that could be about to be sealed, if not already. So I'll let somebody correct me from Tier 2 on that one. So we're single file at the moment. Everyone's doing a little bit of weaving, a little bit of dragging of the brakes. Why are they doing that? Well, you lot all know why. Hold on a minute. Christopher Gedman says something. Let's have a little look-see. He just wants to get on the stream, doesn't he? That's alright, mate. Don't need an excuse. Right, so now we form up 2 by 2. Everyone has had the opportunity now to get heat in those tyres and in those brakes. Yes, that's right. AMS, Chris. AMS did the full 20 minutes, mate. Just so you know. Anyway, right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the home stretch. So, Formula Racing League, Taco Tuesday, Tier 1 and 2, Round 9, Season 5 at Imola. 60-minute sprint race, 1 mandatory stop. It's dark. There's a lot going to be happening here. Keep an eye on that mini-map on the bottom right of your screen. If you see a yellow dot, you know there's been an incident there. We will try and catch it all. What's going to happen is Shez going to be in a Tier 2 sandwich, or is he going to get away? And we wait. Look at the lights in front, and they're green. We are go. Off we go then. 60 minutes underway. And actually, better time that and the run down towards Team Tamburello for the first time. Any issues there? No, not at the moment. No major contact there. Everyone's gone through nice and slowly. Look at those shadows. That is absolutely fabulous, seeing all those shadows there. I'm going to get there in a minute, guys. Do and go. Now I can time it. Why am I timing it? Because my screen's in the way. I can't see the time as we go through Villeneuve for the first time. So the computer's just doing its thing, which Chesmonkey's got to run on Bruges as we come in towards Tozer for the first time, so he's probably going to go wide there and try and do a switch. He needs to be careful, because as you can see, Elysium's just sat on the inside of him, so Elysium's got a good run out of there. Chez, he's going to have the outside line, but Elysium could be brave and try and put that up the inside. And that's maybe a little bit dicey at this stage of the race, and his teammate Amaro's not far behind him at all, just going a little bit wide there. But he's got enough. Well, he doesn't have enough of a gap, does he? Because Oli RSR is pulling alongside him as we go into the Acqua Minerale for the first time, and that Bentley does its job, and Limaro oh no. So Limaro had evidently lost it there as we were coming into Acqua Minerale. He's probably taken in just a little bit too much speed, which ordinarily would be okay, but you've got to think we're full fuel, we're cold brakes, we're cold tyres. Yeah, so as we took that left-hander and we lifted off the power a little bit, the car just went a bit light. He didn't have the grip, the mechanical grip, to get that one back under control, and obviously she took a shortcut across the grass trying to come back on as safe as possible, but that angle potentially was always going to cause an issue, which it did. And somehow Michael Races has ended up in the lead. He's 6/10 ahead at the moment. Ollie Racing in the number 17 Beamer is trying to chase him down. Milden's got himself up to third. So Milden and Michael, those two are 1 and 2 in the championship, so they're going for it as they go into Tamburello. Rob 2K's dropped down to 4th. Amzi's 5th currently. He's 6/10 further down. Bruges is only about 3/10 behind him in 6th. And then we've got Chesmonkey, who thankfully has gotten out of that Tier 2 sandwich. He's in 7th place, so he can now start to concentrate on getting some decent pace going forward. Elysium is 8th, currently leading the pack in Tier 2. Oli RSR is 2nd currently in the Tier 2 class, 9th overall. And then we've got Cool, who's made his way up from 15th to 10th currently, so I'm sure he'll be quite happy with that. 6/10 down. Andy Cray's 11th in the Lexus, and then Kino DJ in his Ferrari is only 3.32 behind him as we come up towards Piratella. Let's just see how they all handle through there. You just got to wait, got to pause a little bit, then we're going to squeeze on the throttle. You really want to punch it there, you can't. You can't, there's no way that you can, it's impossible. Marpat's quite a bit behind, but again, the beauty of this camera angle, we can now sit here and watch races in front of us develop as well. Law's in 14th place, nearly 8/10 off as we come up to the Variante Alta. That Merc, not a popular choice, it would seem, in terms of our drivers this season. Lamaro's down in 15th after that spin. Then we've got Kagatacos, he's 16th, and Supercar Ray, as wow, Supercar Ray seems to have made a move of sorts, because he's well ahead there, isn't he? Supercar Ray 17th. Then we've got Shamzo's half second behind as we come up to Rivazza. Faco's in 19th. Iceman Sean UK. Wow, Oza 89. Who's the 80? Well, so that's Kagatako, so he's evidently had a bit of a ding somewhere, because look at the state of the back of his Ferrari. I mean, if that's his paint job, he needs to maybe think about getting somebody else in the garage to put that livery on, because that's not looking too healthy at the moment. So we're on board of Iceman Sean UK in his Bentley. GT Jamie is 2.2 seconds further down the road in 21st. Jambo's not far behind him in 22nd. Then we've got Shigs 23rd, Dokuno 24th, obviously starting from the pit lane. We've got a nice little battle going on here. So we've got Shamzo, who's pretty new, Fako, Kagatako's, and Iceman Sean UK all battling away as Iceman Sean pulls out. Be careful through there, Sean. Just stick your nose out. Let them worry about it in front. Kagi gets all out of shape in the run down towards Toza, and that's got to allow Sean to place his car on the outside. He's got... whoa. And who was that? So Shamzo, Fako. So Shamzo and Kaga. Boys. I mean, I know that was close. I know you were all close, but... That is a shame. So we've already had a couple of incidents here in the first few laps, and I have to say it's well, I haven't seen the tier 1 boys have an incident yet, but there's plenty of time for that. So AMS is currently in 5th place, just under 4 tenths behind Rob 2K. Now remember, Rob last week qualified like 17th, which was shocking by his standards, if I'm totally honest with you, but as always managed to bring his way through the field and ended up, I think it was 4th or 5th in the end. So Rob is always good for a top 5 finish. I think he's quite an unassuming guy. He doesn't really say much, doesn't really get involved too much in the live chats. AMS has got a great run though on the way down towards Tamburello. He's going to go for the outside. Rob 2K is going to defend the inside, so he's on the braking, and he's just obviously squeezing in enough right round the outside there from AMS. And Rob's done very, very well to hold that position. Just puts that Beamer in the right place. Yeah, AMS evidently had some good pace going through there, but not enough there to really put a challenge on. But he's only 3 tenths, and Bruges wants a piece of this fight as we go down towards Toza. He's keeping a watching brief on Rob and AMS in front. So this is the fight for 4th, 5th and 6th, and you can see in the rear mirror as well that Shez Monkey, you can see that Beamer down there in the bottom right. He's not far behind either. That is not 7 tenths. So we've got, as usual, we've got a quartet. Oh, that's going to get you out of shape there, AMS. He just touched that curb. You don't want to touch that curb. She is horrible. Not even the curb, just the white line there. Always wants to drag the car off the track. You've got to be really careful with that one as they make their way through Aqua Minerale. Rob goes through clean, AMS is clean, Bruges is clean, just keeping an eye on him. And then Shez, well, he's dropped off a little bit now. Ollie RSR is now leading in Tier 2. So Cool's up to 9th, Kino's 10th, Law is at 11th, so he's 2nd place. So what's happened to Lamaro there? Lamaro's had an incident, evidently, as has Elysium. Where has Elysium gone? Elysium's down in 15th. So incidents going on all over the place, mainly in Tier 2 at the moment. The Tier 1 boys are all just pretty much cracking on. They've got their pace in, they've got their eye in. And it's the Tier 2 guys that are trying to make waves. Well, they're trying to impose themselves on the Tier 1 guys, which is great to see. But they're also being quite racy. We know there's a lot on the line. So in terms of closest battle, Michael's on his 5th lap. He's 3 tenths ahead now. So Ollie has brought that gap down from about 7.5 tenths to 3.80. So he's now starting to apply a little bit of pressure. Bear in mind, Michael's not feeling particularly great tonight. His mental fatigue is probably going to kick in at some point. Although, you know, just get on with it. I mean, look at me. I'm really hot at the moment, but you know. Anyway, so these two, as you would expect, are having a nice little battle at the moment. Milden's holding 3rd place nicely there. He can just about see them still, so Ben, don't get frustrated. Just keep being metronomic, keep putting those lap times in. And AMS and Rob, again, they're only under 2 tenths now in this scrap on the way down to Aqua Minerale yet again. So that Bentley and that Beamer are very similarly paced. Two very, very good drivers. Bruges isn't too far behind, and Shez is just under a second there. So let's have a look at Ollie RSR for a moment. We'll keep our eye on that delta between AMS and Rob as well. We don't want to miss that one. You can actually just see them at the front of the queue there, literally nose to tail, aren't they? No, that's it. My window for coffee is gone. So on the way down to Ravazza into the first one, hard on those brakes. We're going to then trail in nicely, get that clipping point, squeeze on the throttle, go wide, and then we're just going to back off, coast a little bit, turn her in, and then squeeze on again nicely. That is the optimal way to get through there. AMS is still, so Michael's eked that lead out a little bit more. It's now nearly half a second. Oh, AMS. Well, AMS has got to run. Right, let's see how this one develops. So they had this little one before, didn't they? AMS went for the inside. Rob's defending that hard. Has he got enough? Has he broke too deep? I think they both went a little bit deep there, didn't they? So these two are having an absolutely brilliant battle at the moment. I like it, boys. I like it a lot. Up towards Villeneuve. Again, you know, you watch all of this and you're thinking, wow, come on, just make the move, get it done. They are trying to make the move, believe me, they're trying to get it done. And the guy defending, i.e. Rob at the moment, well, you know, he's being smart. AMS is trying to work out at the moment which is the best way to do this, yeah? Where is Rob strong on the track? Where is he potentially weak in terms of that car, the curbs, the speed, the turning, the exit speed? So all of the time, it's not enough that we've got to, excuse me, it's not enough that we have to deal with all of this information when we're driving or when we're watching. You've got to think about the person in front, person behind, what they're doing, what they're thinking, and you've got to process all of that whilst having a sort of millisecond by millisecond understanding and computation of all that information. It's amazing. And that's why every week I just bang on that these guys are the finest on console, and I'll stand by that. So yeah, 4 tenths between these now, 6, nearly 7 tenths between Michael and Ollie, so that's extended. Ben's hanging on, and I mean hanging on just, he's about 5 seconds behind, and we've got a gap to these guys of 2 seconds. Where else are we closer? Ollie's still doing really well in 8th place. Keno's got himself into the top 10, are we happy with that? Cool is in the top 10. He's only half a second behind Keno. So let's have a look at a Ferrari Porsche battle. Now Cool, he's absolutely rapid. Yeah, and he is. He's extremely quick. He's taken on the Porsche on the last few races. I don't think the Porsche is normally his car. So he's still getting used to the Porsche. And again, it's testament to his driving ability that whilst he's trying to get used to quite possibly the most difficult car on the game, he's still competing. Yeah, top 10. He'll probably be disappointed with that actually at the moment. You know, he's normally a good top 3, but top 10 in tacos is a very, very good result. So Keno's going to be happy with at the moment. Cool will be happy with that. Marpat's another 3 seconds down the road, but Law, wow, let's have a look at that. So we've got the 2 Mercs challenging. This is 11th and 12th. This is in tier 2, so the 333 of Marpat, and then we've got Law who's in the 226 as they go up towards Piratella there. Now the run down towards Aqua Minerale. Let's see how these Mercs take this one. Okay, not too much drama through there. Superkart race 2 seconds further down the field. Well, hey, at least he's improved from 17th up to 13th. I remember the old days, Superkart Ray, Facco, 1-1 Ferrari, Kagatacos, those boys, they used to be in some epic battles, and it would always be for 10th. Always be for 10th place. So he's getting back to where he was used to being before we split up the tiers. Lamaro's got himself back up to 14th, 1.7 behind Superkart Ray, and then his teammate Elysium's a second behind him. Facco's 16th. GT Jamie's off the pace today in that Ferrari. He's 2.4 nearly off the back of Facco in 16th. Iceman Sean UK is currently still 18th. For the second back, Dokuno, remember starting from the pits, he's 19th, 3.5 seconds back. So I don't know what's happened to Dokuno. I mean, he qualified second, third. So I don't know what's happened to his pace. Kagatako's 20th. Jumbo Hargreaves is 21st. So that's not bad from him. You know, I think, well, obviously not first showing because he's in the other tier, but certainly my first opportunity to commentate on Jumbo. So well done. Shigs is 22nd. Get the Genix. Oh, gee, okay. Don't know who that is, but hello, number 33. Glad that you're with us. Andy Cray's 24th, and Shamzo is currently 25th. So that's where we got. Michael is still leading out the front. 7 tenths. That is not 7 tenths. Look at that. Look at the pressure going on there as we've just gone through the Variante Alta. And as you can see, I told you, you can make up a lot of time through there. And that Beamer's going to eat those curves a lot nicer than what that McLaren's going to do. He's going to dive down the inside. No, he's giving him racing room, but he did just show his nose, trying to get Michael to push, even if it's a metre beyond that normal braking point. That's then going to obviously have a knock-on effect in terms of when he can get the car turned in, when he can get back on the throttle, and if Ollie sticks to his normal brake, turn and acceleration points, that will give him a run, yeah, and that's why people do that whole tactic of showing their nose. It's not to say there's a dive bomb coming, it's just to make the other person think that there may be a dive bomb coming. And see, look, so Michael's got out of shape there. Ollie's got to make his move. Michael's gone on the inside line though, and they are side by side in the run down towards Villeneuve. This is for the lead of the race, guys. Michael's kept in front just so Ollie, I mean, is Ollie toying with him? I doubt it very much. They're both absolutely rapid, these two, having a great race in the penultimate one of the season. See the beautiful flames just kicking out the back of the exhaust there on that McLaren. Fantastic. AMS is still only 2 tenths behind Rob 2K, so that battle for 4th and 5th is still raging. Milden's having a pretty boring race at the moment in 3rd. He's got 8 seconds to catch these two up. Can't see that happening, but he's only 1.3 ahead of Rob, so he needs to be conscious that those two behind are catching, so that could become a 3-way battle. Oh, Michael gets a bit out of shape there as we're going through the middle part of Acqua Minerale and coming out as well, so I think Michael's pushing those tyres pretty hard on that McLaren. And Ollie, as I have said before, if you haven't seen it, guys, on the channel, on my channel, there's a series on there called Coops Cars, yeah? I'll be putting out one a week. We've got a couple to put out. I'm probably about 2 weeks behind with that because real work's been busy. Each car on ACC in the GT3 class, pros, cons, general thoughts, how she drives, all those things, and you'll watch the BMW M4 one, watch the McLaren one, and you'll see what I said is exactly what's happening here right now. As AMS continues that onslaught behind Rob. Now the interesting thing is Rob seems to have broken away from AMS a little bit there, and he's as close as he's ever been, I would suggest, at the moment towards Milden. So you've got to think 4th and 5th, that's a good battle, yeah it is, but hold on a minute, they're on the coattails of 3rd, so we're talking podium. That changes the game a little bit. What are we, 15, probably 16 minutes into this race now? They should be settled in quite nicely, and now it's a case of, are we looking after the tyres and can we keep it up? Ollie RSR, that move's been done then, yeah. So Ollie RSR has managed to pass Shez Monkey for 7th place. That's a great move by him, so well done you on the way into Villeneuve. So I wonder what happened there, whether Shez had an issue or Ollie's pace in that Bentley. He's just super quick. And then we've got Kino and Cool. There's still only half a second between them. Marpat's come to join the party at the moment in the Mercedes. So we've got Ferrari, Porsche and Mercedes. All three of those cars, Ferrari skittish, Porsche will kill you, Mercedes isn't too bad as long as you're really, really kind to her. So we've got 3 cars there that anything can happen at any moment. No change in those figures at the top. We need to keep an eye on all of these as we go up towards Piratella. Look at that, man. Cool is right on the back of Kino. He's really applying that pressure. Kino's just got to keep focused. Just, you know, don't take your eye off the ball, buddy. And Cool, well, he wants a piece. Maybe he's getting used to that Porsche now. I'm sure he's very conscious that he's got that Mercedes behind him. You can't get much closer than this. You're not going to get a dive up the inside there. But are we going to hit our braking points at the right time? Kino does. I think Sean went a tiny bit too deep there, which may allow Marpat in his Merc to have a run, but obviously that Porsche, we know she is super quick out of those acceleration zones. Back at the front though, Ollie and Michael's only 1/4 second between them as they go into Tamburello, and previously this has been where the Beamer has appeared to be stronger than the McLaren. Everything's getting close. Ben in 3rd, he's under, wow, look at that. Rob is under a second behind him. AMS is only 3 tenths behind him. So these guys are under 2 tenths. We've got some excellent battles going on here. Cool and Kino still half a second. Marpat's only 3 tenths behind him. So we've got 3 or 4 really close battles there. And a bit further down the grid, Elysium and Lamaro, they're only separated by a tenth. Well, I've got to go and have a look at this. This is teammates. And they're going into, oh, come on boys, don't kill each other. Wow, was that team orders? I don't think it was, to be fair. So Lamaro makes that move on Elysium and then makes a mistake. So that's going to allow Elysium. Oh, Lamaro goes defensive into Villeneuve. Look at this. Oh, come on, boys. This is fantastic racing. Fantastic racing. You know these two. If they're in a party chat right now, they are not talking to each other. No way in hell as they get into Toza. So these two Ferraris, I'm thinking, given the state of that Lamaro one, and he's off track again, I'm considering that he's probably got some damage given the way the back of it looks, and Elysium there manages to get in front of him again as we get up to Piratella, but I don't think it's done because look at that. Wowza, Elysium had a much, well sorry, Lamara had a much better run down there as we go into Aqua Minerale. On the brakes, get it turned in, boys, go. He's got a better run out of there as well. So it would appear Lamaro's taking more speed through those corners than what Elysium is. Elysium's got the inside line into Variante Alta, and Lamaro looks like he's going to try and go for a switch. Yeah, again, you just got to be so careful with those Ferraris through there. Anyway, well, obviously we did miss that overtake at the top, so Ollie's... Do you know what? I'm not going to apologise for that, because that was a fantastic battle between Elysium and Lamaro, and I'm sure we're going to pick that one up again. But Ollie's actually made the move now, and he's a full second and a quarter ahead of Michael after that move's been done. So he evidently biding his time a little bit, and now he can unleash his real pace. Milden's managed to pull a little bit more of a gap between him and AMS. It's now 2 seconds, but Rob 2K and Bruges, well, those three are not budging, are they? They are enjoying this battle, it would appear. AMS has got past Rob as well, so there's been a change there for 4th place. So let's see if Bruges can do anything. So maybe Rob's tyres are just going off slightly, or maybe there was a little mistake that happened there, but we'll see what happens. And AMS is now 1.6 behind Milden, so the chase is on. Bear in mind, everybody, we did do an announcement last week that AMS had just had a baby girl, and you know, Milden and co, some of his close racing friends, put a little bit of pink on their cars, not for Gamer Dad, but for little Layla. And yeah, he's obviously back this week with a vengeance. So either he's driving with really big eyes because he's had no sleep for a week, or he's just super happy to be back behind the wheel. So either way, seems to be working quite nicely for him. So Ollie's pulled out a 1.6 second lead on Michael now. There's a comfortable 9-second cushion back towards Ben, and then we've got AMS, Rob 2K in front. We're on board of Bruges at the moment, so this is the fight for 4th, 5th and 6th. Ollie RSR from tier 2 is currently 7th overall, first in his tier. Fantastic from him so far. Chesmonkey's 8th, Kino's 9th. He's now, well, I assume Cool's had a bit of an instant there because he was 4-5 tenths behind Kino. It's now 2.5 seconds, so something's happened there. Marpat is 4 tenths off the back of Cool, so maybe those two had a little dance. Superkart Ray's got himself up to 12th. Well done, Mr. Superkart Ray. We'll have a look at you in a minute. Let's get on board of Rob and watch him chasing down AMS. Superkart Ray's in 12th, so 2nd behind Marpat, and then Law is in 13th, 7.5 seconds down the road, so bit of a gap there. Elysium's 14th, GT Jamie's 15th, Iceman Sean UK 16th. Where the hell? Why is Lamaro's pitted? Okay. That's fine, I get it. Elysium's 14th, Jamie's 15th, Iceman Sean UK 16th, Faco's 17th, then we've got Shigs, Jambo, and G the Geniex. 4G. There's a lot of G's going on there, isn't there? I'd just be called Triple G if that was me. Dokuno's 21st, Kagatako's 22nd, Lamaro's 23rd, and Andy 24th. Shamzo's in the pits, 3 laps in the pits. Oh! There we go, guys. Look. It's the best Ferrari you're ever going to see. The 101. COMMS by Coops Ferrari. Which is beautiful. So if you're wondering why some of these guys have got green and some have got 1s, I did say at the top of the show, the ones with the 1, obviously that means they've got 1 stop still to do. The ones that are green, they have been in and completed their mandatory stop. So probably 23 and a half minutes into the race. So they've got to run probably a 37 minute stint, depending on how long it was when they pitted, on those same tyres. So we'll see how that starts to affect the race later on. Right, Rob 2K is only 4 tenths off the back of AM, so we need to get back on with this battle, I think. Mr. Lawrence, do you know what? It's been a long time. Hello, Mr. Lawrence. It's been a long time, and but no, Superkart Ray's now 10th. Sorry. We all know it's all about the 10th place. You remember? You remember our chats we used to have? All about the 10th place. Obviously, we've had some people do the pit stops. He didn't have a good qualifying session. He did admit himself, not me, said he bottled it and was 17th, but he's back up into 10th at the moment, so he's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. And Poonashman says, come on, Wayne. Who's Wayne? Which one's Wayne? Where's Wayne? Wayne. Who's Wayne? Please tell me. Tell me who Wayne is. And welcome to the stream. as we go through the Variante Auto again. You see how much time he's lost there? I'm not joking. When I do these lap guides, I'm actually not joking. Sean Cool's done his pit stop, and so is Bruges. Ooh, interesting. So Cool's come out. Wow, really? Right, so Cool's coming out now. Go, go, go. No change at the top. It's still Ollie, Michael, Ben. Big gap back to AMS. AMS and Rob are just really putting each other under a lot of pressure at the moment. Has been the same for the entire race though, which is great to see. Ollie RSR finds himself now up in 6th place, courtesy of some pit stop. Shez is 7th. Kino's in 8th. Marpat is 9th. And then we've got Supercar Ray's got on board of old Supercar Ray's. He flies in the pit lane. Don't get speeding. Whew. Well, it might have sped in the pit lane, we don't know yet until he comes out. So let's watch Supercar Ray after the pit stop and see if we get an SG30. Hopefully we won't. Law's in 11th. GT Jamie's further down the grid in 12th place. I'm probably going to see him later on doing donuts. Iceman Sean UK is 13th. He's coming onto the main straight. Then Faco, well, he's under a second, so that could be a nice little battle that develops. Jambo's in 15th at the moment, 39 seconds behind that one, with a pit stop still to do. And he seems to be having, well, at least he's having a nice little battle with Shigs in his Beamer at the moment. And then the Genie X4G. No, but he's not there, is he? Well, he's not anywhere at the moment, Matthew, because he's in the pits. But we'll see. So in terms of the guys that have pitted, Bruges is first. Yeah, where's Supercar Ray? He's just coming out now. Okay, so Bruges is first from the pit stops. I would assume Sean's got to come. This is going to be close because Sean's got to get out ahead of Supercar Ray. He will get ahead of Supercar Ray, but Elysium might not. So this is what, no, Elysium's definitely not. So Supercar Ray is going to end up, as Sean goes past there, Supercar Ray is going to end up ahead of Elysium, which is good because that pit stop has now been done. Ollie's got a 2.5 second gap now ahead of Michael. Rob 2K, well, those two are still at it, aren't they? Nothing changes with those two. Faco and Iceman Sean, great time to join these two into the Variante Auto. That is not 4/10, but again, you're looking at the different cars, you're seeing the characteristics of these cars. The Bentley, she loves a curb. She does love a bit of a curb. The Lambo is obviously a little bit more slippery, a little bit more, you've got to be a bit more gentle and delicate with her, hence why you saw Sean was able to really munch those curves in the Variante Alta, and Faco was not, definitely was not able to do that. Sorry, merch everyone, merch. Go buy some merch from the website, it's fantastic. And if you're watching, if you guys haven't yet bought your tickets for Donington for the 15th of October, get it done. Get it done. There's got to be tons of us there. All FRL guys, we're all going for the weekend. Some are camping, some are in hotels, some are in Airbnbs. There's, I think there's probably 20 that have already booked. I think 40 said they're interested. So if you haven't done it, get it done. As Faco looks to make a move down the inside in towards Tozer, Sean goes very, very deep there. Very deep there. That move's going to be done. I would have thought Faco and that Lambo would have got a better run, but Sean sticks his big boatley in the middle of the road, and he's just put it there just enough to say, if you're going to throw it up the inside, mate, there's probably going to be an issue. Sean again goes a tiny bit wide, so Faco's got a good run, but Sean's got the inside line in towards Aqua Minerale. Just don't turn in too much, boys. They're giving each other room, which is fantastic driving. He's definitely got a better run out of there. Sean was pretty slow through there and couldn't get the traction down, so that's allowed Faco to go do a bit of a switcheroo on him, but it ends up on the outside on the way up to the Variante Auto, and so Sean's just got to be careful. He is careful. Oh, that, guys, that was so close. That was millimetres. I really thought there was going to be a love tap on that rear quarter then. Stop it. But there wasn't. So, well done, great driving. Michael Races decides he doesn't feel very well and he's coming to the pits for a Lemsip. Let's see what happens. Ollie Racing, he continues his march in the Beamer. Metronomic as always. Let's have a little look at him. So AMS and Rob, that gap's elongated to 1.8 now, so that battle at the moment appears to be done. Closest battle we have on track is Iceman Sean and Faco, who've decided to take their race in the pit lane. Come on, Captain Slows. Where's Sean? Oh, you got to be near my Ferrari. Somebody oh, that's a shame. Right, anyway, so Michael's out of the pits. Stop complete. So, Ollie, over to you. Obviously, you can make up a lot of time in the pit stops. You can lose a lot of time in the pit stops, as Ollie thinks, well, you know what? I had a decent lead over you, Michael. I'm going to pit straight away and react. Let's get my stop out of the way. And then let's go for a race till the end. So we need to keep our eyes on this, don't we? Michael's currently in 11th. Where is he? Going around toes at, as Ollie's just coming in to pull up to his pit box. Auto stop? Nope. Definitely a manual stop. You heard him cut the engine there. What's the difference between an auto and a manual stop? One's automatic and one's manual. And one's a lot quicker than the other. Yes, I really wish I would learn how to do that. Anyway, on the way down to Acqua Minerale, so Michael's pushing really hard at the moment. He's thinking he could he potentially get out ahead of Ollie? He's in the pits. Ollie's still sat there at the moment, getting those tyres done. Very anti-outer for Michael. Doesn't want to overcook those tyres on this outlap, but knows it's a great opportunity for him because his tyres will be up to temperature as Ollie's done. Bye Ferrari, beautiful car there.
We are halfway through.
I should get one of them, mate, shouldn't I really? I should have it on my own channel for merch. You can buy my Ferrari, it's a great idea. Right, anyway, so down the pit lady comes, and Michael is now coming down the start finish straight. It's going to be close, it's not going to be done though. So Michael's running at full pelt. Ollie's just getting up to speed now. Interesting. Well, they're not going to meet. They're not going to meet. That's unlucky. And Rob finds himself coming out the pits as well. So Ollie holds the lead, the net lead, as they go into Tamburello. Where's Rob? So Rob's coming out the pits at the moment. And who's just in front of him? Oh, Michael's done his stop. AMS is out. Rob's out now. Okay, so Milden finds himself leading this race. He's 7.752 seconds ahead of Ollie RSR, who, remember, is tier 2, but obviously you can see we've got greens and golds, so people are in the middle of getting their pit strats complete. That Beamer needs to get out of the way. I think that was Shigs. Does get out of the way. Yeah, it was Shigs. So Milden pits, Ollie RSR pit. So these are all really important pit stops, guys. Yeah, not just for the individual championships in tier 1. We're talking team championship in tier 1. Beautiful Ferrari there she is. No, you tried to hit my car. Anyway, Shezmonkey takes the lead of the race. And we've also got the tier 2 championship up for grabs as well, where there's 4 people vying for that one this evening. So there's a lot that can happen, but in terms of where they actually stand, Ollie would be net first. Michael is still net second, but Michael is, yeah, I mean, it was about 2.5 seconds, so Michael's clawed a few tenths back, which is good. It's under 2 seconds. Now, AMS and Milden, this is where it's going to get interesting, because remember, AMS at one point was only a second behind him, but then dropped off a little bit. That could have been tyres. So Ben's gone a little bit further into the race. Is that Ollie? No, it wasn't Ollie. Right, where's AMS? So Ben's just leaving his pit box, and AMS is coming round onto the start-finish straight. Ooh, that's all I'm saying about that one. This is going to be mighty close. Ben's going to go. AMS is like, there he is, get him! And Ben's, oh, see, Ben couldn't get across there. Ben couldn't come across to defend that one, unfortunately. So AMS, he's got a bit of pink on that Bentley. No doubt that's for his baby girl. AMS manages to jump Ben in the pit stop. And Ollie RSR, well, we haven't had one yet, but he's got himself a stop go 30. That's speeding in the pit lane. And that is really going to affect his championship because, well, you know, he was leading, I do believe, in terms of the tier 2 guys that are racing tonight. And that stop go 30, that's going to give everybody else that's had issues so far this evening, it's going to give them all a chance to get right back into this for the last race of the season. Now, one thing actually that Elysium and Dokuno, let's have a look at that. Is that, no, that's not Shigs, who's 324? So that's Shezmonkey in front, so Shez hasn't pitted yet, so he is the actual race leader at the moment. Elysium, who we're on board with, has pitted. So we'll see how that works out. So G, the Genie X4G, also has a stop go 30. So that's that race done. But again, guys, remember, if you're listening, it doesn't matter. You got to finish. Finishing gets points. So let's make sure we finish the race. Think about your teams, think about the individual championships. So next week is the final round at Bathurst. Now, in the Patreon channel, Butler, who's an Aussie, one of our Aussie racers, and if you're not aware, we have American leagues, we have normal time races in the UK, then we've got late night races in the UK, we've got 3 AM races, we've got service set up for Americans and Australians. There's just tons of stuff going on at FRL. We try to cater and give everyone as much choice as we can. As we see Shez Monkey there get a little bit well, take a bit of dust, shall we say. Yeah, so someone mooted Butler mooted the idea of me getting involved in doing some comms for the PS4 season finale, and obviously on the PS4 I'll actually have cameras, which, believe it or not, is actually quite handy in this particular line of work. It's quite handy to be able to see other things going on rather than just being sat in the car and waffling on to you guys. And so what I've done is I've asked in the admin chat, I think Volta needs to have a look at this, I'll bug him later on, if we could do something whereby, so Shamzo's in the pit, so his race is done, if we could do something where we could stagger the race times for the final race next week. Obviously we have to vote out to the drivers, but if we do that, yeah, I'll sit here and do PS4, and then I'll do PS5, yeah, so if the numbers are there, we can do PS5 tier 1 and tier 2 and stagger the race. I don't mind, I'll sit here for 6 hours and do the 3, I don't care, be quite nice. Oh, to answer your question, oh god, hold on, there's someone listening, there's somebody there. So let me just have a little look at that whilst we're on board with Elysium. What is the chap saying? To answer your question, love the idea. Good. Well, I love the idea, Chris, and I'm sure you love the idea, but I think we need to put it out to the drivers, yeah, and just get there. If they're happy to do that, then I'll do that. Yeah, if it's going to cause issues, and I get, you know, time's important, work, babies, kids, bedtimes, other stuff, I get all that. You know, I'm a slave to all that myself. So if those things can't happen, then it can't. If it can happen, Chris, put something out there on the Discord to the guys, and just see who would be up for it, because I'd quite happily do that. Oh, wowza, that was rather close there. Law right on the back of Kino. This is for position 15th and 16th, so they have both done their pit stops. Look at that, we've got 5 Ferraris in a row, so they're evidently not, those Ferraris evidently not performing particularly well at the moment, I have to say. Oh my word, and Law, well, don't do it, Law, don't do it, Law. As Judge Dredd would say, I am the law. That's great, thank you. So realistically, Law, in my eyes now, and again, this is, you know, I've done this before this season, Law should give that place up. Yeah, he's way outbraked himself into Tamburella, and he's gone flying across. He has not backed off at all on the gravel. He's flew straight across the gravel. He's come out ahead of Kino, and now he's holding him up. So Kino's probably getting a bit annoyed with that. My personal take is that Law should be given that place up. We'll see. Anyway, top of the charts, Shez Monkey is leading this race on lap 22 into the Variante Alta. Hasn't completed his pit stop yet, but he's probably just trying to get as far away from everybody as he can, so he doesn't have to take on any responsibility in terms of the the outcome of the championships. That is not a bad way of doing it, mate. I need to go back to my timer 1 second, ladies and gents, just so we can keep an eye on it. So what, we 39 minutes into this race. There's Ollie going through Acqua Minerale at the moment, so he's now got a 2 second, wow, more than that, but 3.5 seconds. GT Jamie's in third, hasn't done his stop yet. He's let Michael past. Team orders there, RKM, no, but anyway, that's what you should do. So Michael can now try and chase Ollie down. Ams is still holding that position there He's got himself a 1.8, almost 1.8 tenths gap back to Milden now. They're both in the Bentley, so it's not like, you know, they're in the same machinery, aren't they? We know they're both extremely rapid. We know they're very consistent. We know they've both got very strong race pace. This is not going to be an easy one for Ben. I've got to say that. It is not going to be easy as GT Jamie comes into the pits to get his stop done. So Shez Monkey and myself are currently the only ones who haven't pitted yet. Obviously I'm in the pit, so it doesn't matter. And where's Rob? So Rob's 25 seconds. That's a bit shocking. Rob must have had some damage and then he's had to get that fixed when he's gone in for his pit stop. Definitely something like that. So we've still got around 8 watchers at the moment. Thanks very much. If you've got any questions, throw them out there. If you want to know anything about the drivers or their cars or anything about the track, I don't know, whatever it is, feel free. I don't really mind what you ask me, it's all good. Cool finds himself up, well, in 7th. Remember, he qualified down, when did he qualify? 12th or 14th? He really wasn't looking forward to this race in the Porsche, but I just think he's, well, getting the curse, getting the Coup's curse. No, but I think he's obviously just settled in and just started to manage a lap by lap, so finds himself in 7th place. Okay, he's 19-20 seconds behind Rob, but the point is he's got himself up into 7th place, which is probably better than he was hoping for at the start. Marpat's in 8th. I'm really impressed with that, mate. And Supercar Ray, after the pit stops are done, is the lead Ferrari. Did you hear that? Supercar Ray is the lead Ferrari in 9th place. So that is impressive. Dokuno is 10th. Remember, qualified really high up at the start and then obviously missed the drive button starting from the pit lane and has been basically spending the whole race trying to scrap his way back. 3rd in the championship. Not going to help him. Not going to help him this evening because Michael and Ben are both ahead. Elysium is in 11th place. He's had a very interesting race so far this evening. He's been involved in quite a few issues here and there. Nothing of his, I'd say, of his own making, but not that's helped him in terms of what the pace. So he's in 11th. Kagatakos is 12th. GT Jamie's 13th. Kino finds himself in 14th place, and he's still having that scrap with Law. Law's still in front of him. So we'll see. That's going to be an interesting one, that. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Faco is 16th. Iceman Sean UK 17th. Ollie RSR, after his pit stop, finds himself in 18th place. That's not where he was. Obviously, he was really high up the grid, got a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane, and that really kind of put pay to his, well, to his charge, championship charge at that moment in time. Andy Craig finds himself in 19th. Tier 1 driver, remember. Lamaro 83 is 20th. He's had all sorts of incidents going on today and some, well, interesting paintwork. Shigs is 21st. Jambo Hargreaves is 22nd. He's gone ball with Jambo in his Bentley. Let's give him a little bit of airtime. And then we've got G, the Genie X4G. Triple G is 23rd in the Ferrari. Bruges is in the pit still? Yeah. Shamzo just looking at my Ferrari. Thanks very much, Shamzo. I wonder why Bruges, why are you in the pits? If you're watching, let me know. So Shez, he's still going for it. He's just going to run long in this race. I think what we're now 42 minutes in. He's got to pit at some point, or maybe he's going to do a Michael Races and pit right at the end, but legally this time. So Ollie's first, Michael's second, Ams is third, Milden's still fourth. Going a little bit too deep there, I would suggest, into Ravazza. He's probably going to lose a bit of time there. So Ben's probably just now got to hope that he just picks up some decent points. Think about that team championship. You're only a couple of places behind Michael, but you know, we're probably going to need a DNF from Michael in the last race and a very strong result from Ben for that to swing the other way. But hey, these things, this is racing. It can happen. It could happen tonight. Who knows? Literally, who knows? Right, other close battles on track at the moment. So Kino and Law. Where's Law? There's Law. Okay. Andy Cray, Iceman Sean. Let's have a look at that. There's only 3.5 tenths between these two. And this is a fight for 18th and 19th at the moment. We're on lap 25. Remember, this is a 60-minute sprint race around Imola at night. Track temp 14. Ambient is also 14, although it is optimal. So we're still pumping in some decent lap times. In fact, we'll have a look at Andy's lap time because we can see it there on the hood at the bottom. trail on those brakes. So Law's pulled out. Wow, Law's only a second behind GT Jamie now. What's his lap time going to be? 41, 42, 43, 44. So 44.8. It's not a bad lap time, is it? Remember I said I did a 47.2 with the controller, so that gives you an indication of just how fast. Do you know what? I'm probably faster on the controller than with the steering wheel these days. What was that, Mike? Oh, I need to plug it in. Right, okay. But there we go. Right. Come on, Shez. When are you going to pit? I want a full house. My OCD's getting all crazy. I need a full house of green over there. So Andy and Iceman are 4.6. Sorry. 4 tenths between those two. That is pretty much closest battle. Keno and Law still having their scrap. It's half a second between them. And actually Marpat's getting pretty close onto the back of Sean at the moment. So Sean in the 444 Porsche as they go into Tamburello. He's not that far ahead of Marpat, is he? In his Mercedes. So this one could develop quite nicely. We must be 46 minutes into the race, so we're into the last quarter. So now, guys, you've got to concentrate. You know, I know it's a little bit more. Is it more difficult driving at night? I don't know. Maybe they have to concentrate a little bit more. I'm sure it's just fine. But we're into the last quarter of this race at the moment. Ollie looks like he's going to take the win. Michael's going to secure second, and I think I'm sure it's not double points. I need to double check. I'm sure it's not double points at Bathurst. Michael finishing second and Ben finishing fourth. Obviously when Shez decides to pit, I'm sure that will hand the title over to MR again. Could be wrong, don't think I am. But Am's having a stonking race. I'm sure he's going to dedicate that to a little lady at the end of this race if it finishes as it is. And then Rob's just having a steady race again now in 6th place. Cool's just in front of us in the Porsche. We're on board with Marpat. I know his name doesn't say Marpat, but it is Marpat. He's just changed his name. I'll just, just going to call him what his original name was. Supercar race still in 9th place, holding that one nicely. He's got a 10-second gap over Dokuno, so that looks pretty secure for Supercar Ray, which is good. Elysium's 2.5 seconds behind Dokuno. We need to keep an eye on that one. Remember, Elysium is one of the top guys in Tier 2, and Dokuno is 3rd in the championship in Tier 1, so it's not like he doesn't have pace. And they're in the same machinery as Marpat. It looks to make a move around the outside of Sean into Tamburello. That's not going to happen through there, but again, maybe he was just hoping that Sean would take his eyes off that line and maybe get a little bit out of shape, but Sean holds his racing line. The thing is, when you're in the very top echelon of Tier 1, things like that don't work. They're robots. They are literally driving machines in the top echelons of Tier 1. They don't get flustered. Yeah, they don't make mistakes. They don't get angry, start getting annoyed and swearing at the cats or something like that when something happens. They are just cool. They're just cool guys. They just do what they need to do. So all that excitement there, Marpat's probably thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna. And Sean's just like, I don't. Sorry, are you there? What happened? I'm just on my line, Interesting. Right, so Bruges is still in the pit, 6 laps. I would suggest that race is done. Shamzo evidently has backed out of his race. Gedman says normal points. Okay, mate. Good to know. Normal points for next week. So I think Races is going to have that one in the bag by the end of this race. Which will make you feel better, won't it, if that's the case? Of course it will. Right, so Marpat is in the slip again of Sean. He went down the outside last time. Is he going to go the outside again this time? He is going to go down the outside again this time. Sean's just holding his line. Look, he's just holding that line. He knows what he needs to do. And there's no way around the outside. Now, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but I bet the next lap he's either going to go down the inside there, or he's going to go and feint to go to the outside and end up on the inside. Yeah, he won't telegraph it, and he's going to try and make Sean think a little bit. Well, okay, he normally gets quite close to me here, but he always goes down the outside. Oh no, he's going the inside, he's going out. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that happens, shall we? And then we're going to give Supercut Ray a little bit of love, because his boys are watching, and we know they'd be really sad if Supercut Ray didn't get some extra time. Dokuno's now into the top 10, so Elysium's dropped off. That was pretty close. Now it's 7.5 seconds, so maybe Elysium's had an issue somewhere, or Dokuno's just found an absolute truckload of pace. Who knows? But Chesmonkey's still leading this race in his Beamer on lap 35, on lap 29. Got to be pitting soon. We're 50 minutes into the race, so it would be very interesting actually to see, given all the clean air that he's probably had, just how far he's managed to push. So he was, what was he, 8th when everyone started doing their pit stops. Be interested to see where it comes out. Right, let's see if my crystal ball is correct. So Marpat's been down the outside twice so far. Evidently he's a lot closer. He's making a move for that inside straight away. So Sean is going to have to do something pretty special here, because he's got that inside line. Okay, he's got the inside line because he had a great run. So I can't claim the victory there in predicting what he did. However, he did go for the inside this time, so thank you. So I'm claiming it. Right, so Marpat moves up into 7th place, moves Sean in his 444 Porsche down to 8th. So Marpat now is either going to, try and close down Rob. And who have we got in front there? We've got some traffic in front there. As we come into the hairpin, is that Sean? No, it's Jambo. So Jambo, remember what I was saying earlier on? Jambo's not a new guy, he's already in tier 2, but people should be very conscious about other people and where they are in their championships, as Chesmonkey decides to finally come and pit the beautiful 101 Ferrari there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And Shez comes in to get his pit stop done. Well, is he? Is he? Because that didn't look like he'd stopped. What are you doing, Shez? Well, Chesmonkey's been through the pits and not stopped. And I didn't see a penalty notice there. So if somebody did, let me know. The Mercs are very quick, Jamie. Yes, they are. They are indeed. Right, so Ollie takes the rightful lead of this race now. Michael races at a full 10.8 seconds behind. Hey, he's in 2nd place. I think he only needs 2nd for the championship. Ams is in 3rd. Ams had a fantastic race tonight. Showed some really, really good pace. Milden is still in 4th place. We're getting a little bit squirrely there and flashing away. So he's not happy. Who is that in front of him? 83, that's Lamaro, isn't it? So he's not happy with him. So let's see. He's flashing him. He's trying to say, mate, get out of the way. You're in the way. Oh, steady on, Lamaro, blooming heckers. Right, anyway, so Lamaro gets out of the way, or gets past, whichever way you want to look at it. And that allows Milden to carry on through. So he's probably lost a little bit of time there. He's only 2.5 seconds behind Am, so that fight could still happen. Chesmonkey's come out in 5th place, but still hasn't done his pit stop. So Chez, I don't know what he did there, mate. Rob2K is 7th. We've been on board of Marpat and his extremely good pace. He's pulled 2.2 seconds on Sean already, and we all know Sean is alien fast. So Marpat and that Mercedes are really nicely hooked up today. Supercar Ray, the lead Ferrari, the 58 Ferrari, he's 5.3. Ray, I'm going to stay on board. Well held, Ray. Well held, buddy. I'll give you that. I'm going to give you driver of the day for that move, holding that Ferrari there. You must have been looking at the screen and you heard me mention your name, and but that was extremely well held. So Supercar Ray is in 9th place. He will be ecstatic with that in the top 10, mixing it with the big boys, although, you know, he's mixed it in his championship anyway. He's well up there. Dokuno's 10th. Elysium, so Supercar Ray's obviously going to close that gap down to Elysium. He's in 11th. Law is 12th. Kino still finds himself behind Law. Just that Ferrari can't seem to get past that Mercedes, although I did say a few laps ago, when that move originally happened, I think Law should have backed out and given the place back. Who knows, I might put a ticket in myself, as I have done previously when I've seen something that I think needs to be looked at, or then again I might not. GT Jamie's 14th, Kagatako's 15th, only 1.4 behind. So again, we've got all the Ferraris are clumped together apart from Law in the Merc. He's sat in between 6 Ferraris at the moment. Faco's in 16th, Ollie RSR. Well, this is a nice little battle that's about to develop, isn't it? He's just under 3/10 behind. This is the battle for 16th as we come down the start-finish straight. 54, nearly 55 minutes into this race, so we don't have long to go. Probably 3 or 4 laps maximum as we come up towards Tamburello. So Ollie keeps the outside line, cuts back. Again, just eats those curves, does it in a way that he can get the power on nice and early, which is what you need. And Faco then, because he was carrying more speed through the middle part of that corner sequence, that pushed him wide on the exit of Tamburello. And obviously you saw Ollie took the middle bit nice and steady to get on the power early, which means he could push quicker and with more control. So Faco's now trying to come back at him through Toza, and I think if Ollie just keeps it nice and tidy for a couple of corners, that move should be ironclad. So Sean's in 18th at the moment in his Bentley. Andy Cray's less than a second behind in that Lexus. These two have had a really good battle actually for a lot of this race, which has been really nice to see. Shigs in the number 9 Beamer getting a bit out of shape there. He's in 21st, well, way out of shape there. That's unlucky there, Shigs. Jambo's still running in the number 7 Bentley in 22nd, and then the Genie X4G is 23rd, 2 laps down. Bruce is in the pits, race over. Shamzo's in the pits, race over, and evidently that is me. Not Shamzo. RSR Cooper, right. Ollie commanding lead, Michael commanding lead, Ams comfortable lead. I don't know what Shez is up to be honest with you. Marpat's pulled out 3.5 seconds on Sean. Superkart Ray is now 6 seconds behind Sean, so that's actually increased by about 6/10 from the previous lap. Dokuno's brought that down from 10 seconds to 8.5, and then Elysium is 9.5 back. So, and now Kino's 2.2 seconds off. So in terms of the closest battle we've got, it's pretty much this one between Andy and Iceman Sean. That is the closest battle that we have at the moment. As we run down into the Tamburello yet again for the 33rd time so far this evening. Been some fantastic racing. I think I've loved the fact that we've had it, like all the top boys from Tier 2 that wanted to race this evening, that were really involved in that championship, mixing it really well with the Tier 1 guys. And that's been very, very interesting to watch. And I'm sure they've all enjoyed it. And I'll say, I mean, at the beginning, the incidents that did happen, they were all T2 guys, but there's 4 of them vying for that title, don't forget. Whereas it's only Michael and Milden who are at it in Tier 1. And whilst we're actually doing that, let me have a little look at some stats. Right, so Michael's 40 points ahead at the moment, so he's going to get, obviously, he's going to get second place. That's 38 points. So he's going to be 40th at that. Okay. And then where's Ben's 4? So Ben's going to get 34 points. So there's going to be an increase of 4 points there, which is going to be 44 points difference before the last race in Michael's favour. And as we know, it's normal points next week. So literally, Michael needs to finish this place in second, not bin it, and that championship is his. That's the plan for him. Although Ben won't be too disheartened with that, because he could sew up the team's title this evening in Tier 1. Right, Tier 2 drivers, just so we are aware, and what we got there. So Ollie, Elysium, Superkart Ray, and Namaro. Right, so where's Namaro first? Let's deal with him. AMS shares so Superkart Ray is running in 9th at the moment. He's 30 points behind. Okay. So Elysium, okay, so that's good for Elysium. So he's not going to lose too many points to Supercar Ray. And where's Ollie and Ollie? Ah, man, that stop-go penalty for Ollie RSR, that might have literally just... I mean, that's got to go to the last race, evidently. But that might make that gap. And that's do or die. I mean, do you know what? I need to watch that race. I need to watch that race next week because that championship is ridiculously tight. Anyway, let's come off this. I think we are on last lap at the moment. So...
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Ah, there you go. Leads on the final lap. Right, so Ollie starts his 35th and final lap around Imola this evening. He's got a comfortable lead. Let's stay on board with him. Anything else really close? No, there actually isn't. Everybody's pretty well gapped. Nothing's going to develop there unless someone goes off the track. So let's enjoy a lap on board with Ollie in the number 17 Beamer. I'm sure we'll have something come out on his YouTube channel in the in the next week or so. I know he's pretty big on that, which is fantastic to see. It's good to see people in the community putting in that time and effort, really. As we go through Toza for the last time, 13-second lead back to Michael. Michael's going to take this championship today again, so I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. I think this may, well, I don't know, I can't speak for the guy, but this may be his last Tacos championship. Obviously I know he's quite big on the PC side at the moment. Traction Dave obviously races on a Tuesday and he races on a Friday, and they're best mates, and I would be surprised to see Michael follow suit. And hey, as I said in a post I put out in the Discord last week, obviously my last taco race will be next week as well. I'll be moving away from the console onto PC completely, because I do Fridays on PC as it is. Evolution is progression, as I like to say. So there we go then, out Ravazza, Ollie Racing on the start finish straight for the final time, and that's it. Give us a nice little flash, Ollie. Congratulations, well done, you take the victory this evening. A very well deserved victory, Ollie. Great drive as always, consistent, metronomic, fabulous pace, cool as you like. Well done. Michael Races is coming across the line. Fireworks are going for him. Michael takes second place, and by my maths, Michael, that is the championship for you again, my friend. Well done. Fantastic drive considering you are under the weather, mate. Well done, fully deserved. And Ams, you better get in that chat afterwards and tell me who you're dedicating this podium to, because I think I know exactly who that is. A fantastic race for you, mate. Well done. And Mr. Milden, 4th place. You know what? It wasn't a podium, mate. Okay, I think the Drivers' Championship is over, but a very consistent run from you, buddy. And 4th place might have sorted out the team's title for you, so well done. Shez Monkey finishes 5th. Well, I say he's finished his 5th. He's got a 130-second penalty. Rob 2K finished in 6th place. Well done, Rob. Consistent race from you again. Excellent pace. Sean managed to bring that 444 Porsche, or bringing that 444 Porsche home in 7th place. I think he's going to be extremely happy with that, to be fair. And Superkart Ray in 8th. Well done, buddy. Superkart Ray, fantastic run from you. Flashing away. Look at those fireworks. It's all for you. It's all for the fans. But well done, Superkart Ray. Great to have you with us again this evening. Dokuno is going to come across in 9th. You know what, Dokuno? Considering you had a pit lane start, that is not a bad result, buddy. And Alicia manages to bring it into the top 10, so that's going to keep that championship fight alive right until the last race of the season next week in Tier 2, and I actually don't want to miss that race, to be fair. Law 11th, Kino in 12th place was having a big battle with Law actually at the end of there. GT Jamie 13th, Kagatako's in 4th. I was doing extremely well, really mixing it top 7 with the Tier 1 boys. Remember, Ollie's in Tier 2, 2nd place in the Tier 2 Championship. Ended up getting a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane after his pit stop, and that paid to his race, unfortunately. But again, means next week it's all to fight for them. Faco in 16th, Iceman Sean UK 17th, Limaro, a race to forget for him, I'm afraid, in 18th. Shigs 19th, Jambo finished, which is fantastic, in 20th. G the Genie X4G 21st, Shamzo 22nd. I think we've had a couple leave the server already, and me at the back. So guys, let me just have a look at the live chat for 1 sec. Kino stalled coming out of the pits, mate. Unlucky, dude. Unlucky. Congratulations to the podium. Well done, Ollie. Well done, Michael. Very well done, Ams. I hope you're going to dedicate that to your new little daughter. Well done, everybody else. I believe congratulations are in order for Michael Races with another championship sewn up. And the Tier 2 championship next week, I need to see what happens with that, because I still believe at least the top 2 are in that fight, maybe the top 3. And remember, next week we are at Bathurst. We may have a triple header next week for comms. We may do PS4, Tier 2 and Tier 1. Happy to do that if we can get it organised. Alright, so guys, thank you for watching. Everybody in the live chat, it's been a pleasure. Hope you've all had an entertaining evening. Remember, YouTube, please drop a like or a sub. Buy me a coffee if you wish. But other than that, I will see you all. We've got podcast tomorrow. I'll see everyone on the PC on Friday for GT3 Fridays. And then my last tacos next week. So, do you know what? Let's get the triple header done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done so that I can do my last evening for tacos and get everybody in. Alright? So, on that note, ladies and gents, congrats to the podium again. Comms by Coops, out.